Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Anniversary and our Night Elf Priest. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. Today, I've decided to go in a bit of a different direction. Instead of heading into another zone, we're going to pick up all of the random quests around Stormwind, and see where those take us. City quests can be really interesting sometimes, or they can just end up being basic breadcrumbs to give us some direction if we aren't sure where to go next. In any case, let us see what we have here in Stormwind. There's quite a few dungeon quests on the map, as there tends to be in major cities in general. These ones are a little bit out of our reach, but we've got a couple of ones down here that I think are in the back of the Blue Recluse Tavern. And we're going to go see what those are about.
Good day to you. See you later.
See, a meal served cold. One of my most famous dishes is chilled basilisk in lime vinaigrette. But the problem is, the meat is impossible to keep fresh, and I must serve the dish tonight for a noble's birthday. So, if you can bring me a chilled basilisk haunch from a freshly killed cold-eye basilisk, quickly, then I will owe you a king's feast. Cold-eye basilisks are known to roam along the beach dunes of northwestern Stranglethorn. So, you have much traveling to do, and be swift. You must not release your spirit to succeed in this quest. That is an interesting text to put there.
See you around.
I'm not sure why these are marked as blue as well. That also seems pretty interesting to me. This does appear under the Stormwind thing here. Oh, we've got a half an hour to get it. Oh, yikes. Interesting. So the other one must be timed as well then. So in that case, maybe I'll drop it for now and we'll pick it up when we're ready to actually go out. Well, we can actually interact with the stuff here on the counter. See if I can pick any of this stuff up. Yeah, nothing special, I suppose. Just some basic pieces of meat. Alright, well, we're going to ignore James Heil too, because I know where that quest leads, I think. Well, you know what? We'll just pick it up anyway. I think this quest might have a dead end on it. There's not like much to it, but yeah, I mean, this is speaking with somebody at Menethil Harbor anyway, and we spend a lot of time there as it is. Before working here at the Blue Recluse, I was trained by one of the best chefs and innkeepers I'd ever met. His name was James Heil. Everything I have and everywhere I've gotten in life is thanks to him. I wonder how he's doing. His brother Vincent and he went to work in a tavern in Menethil Harbor, but I haven't heard from him recently. If you ever happen to be headed in that direction, maybe you could say hello to him for me. Yeah, we'll be back there at some point soon, so we might as well grab it. So I'm going to come back here a little bit later. But what I'll do first is we'll pick up a couple of other quests that I see, and then if we have some time, we'll come back and grab this one again and see what we can do. I'm going to try to pick up Mazin's Behest. This looks like a quest that's probably picked up in the canals on the other side of this wall here. For those that noticed, as we are opening our bags here, we do have a bunch of meat to cook up today as well. So we're gonna head over to the Pig and Whistle. I think that's what it's called. And we'll cook that up before we pick up those timed quests.
How are you?
Mazin's behest. As caretaker of the works here in the library of the Academy of Arcane Arts and Sciences, it is my responsibility to ensure all the magical tomes and scrolls are accounted for at all times. Who knows what folly would unfold if some of these enchanted texts were to fall into the wrong hands? Which reminds me, my assistant, Ndelis, made a horrible mistake last week. He's quite able in the library, but incompetent when he leaves the gates of Stormwind. Be a hero and help Delis out, would you? Acolyte Delis.
See you later.
I guess he's upstairs.
Hello.
It wasn't my fault. Really, it wasn't.
Have a good one.
Master Mazen's directions were quite clear. Deliver a very important essay to Watcher Mahar Ba in Netherguard Keep. But I had never been to the Blasted Lands before. The journey was frightening. When I got to the Swamp of Sorrows, I made a wrong turn and ended up surrounded by horrible plant-like swamp creatures. They lurched as if to attack me, so I ran. But in my haste, I dropped the essay. One of the beasts took it, I am sure. Could you please try to retrieve it and deliver it to Mahar Ba? Sure. Over in the Swamp of Sorrows? I think this is an upgrade to our belt, actually.
Safe travels.
So that's pretty cool. Alright, I think we will head over to the Cathedral Square now and pick up Bring the Light. And then the other quests that remain, I think, are dungeon related, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll probably just hold off on picking those up until we are ready. Once we pick up this quest at the cathedral, we'll head over to Old Town so we can do our cooking. And then we will choose which quest we want to move forward with. Looks like we have some options. We actually do have some cash while we're here at the cathedral. We could pick up dual spec. They're not yet level 41, so we've got a little bit of time to make some money before we have to get some new abilities at level 42.
You are welcome.
We gotta speak with the Archbishop. All right. The Scourge is a persistent threat to the Alliance, a fact I am sure you know quite well. Recently, we have come across some very peculiar findings, Alindria. In the Barrens lies a horrid tangle of briars called Razorfed Downs. While once it was a home of simple Quillbore, now it has become apparent that a pact was made with the Scourge, creating creatures far worse. They are now ruled by the Lich, Amnimnar the Coldbringer. Align yourself with the light, Alindria. Put an end to this evil union. This is a dungeon quest, but we're going to pick it up because it is our next dungeon. There is a necklace to be had. This actually looks insanely good. The Amberglow Talisman. Yeah, we had just picked up the Triune Amulet, and I feel like we're already trying to replace it, which is crazy. Yeah, you know what? Let's pick up dual spec. Let's do it. I guess I could speak to one of the priest trainers over here. We'll have 7 gold. That's enough to
Hey there.
hold us over for a little bit. I think. Yes, let's make the purchase. Accept. Congratulations, your mind has been expanded.
See you around.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, let's switch over and let's get ourselves set up with Shadow. We can look at some of the talents. Shadow takes a very different approach, and actually, you know what? Let's speak with our trainer real quick. Something I didn't think about was picking up some new upgrades. Yeah, we're definitely going to want Mind Blast for sure. I think that's it, though.
See you later.
Shadow differs very heavily from Holy in that it's a little bit more consistent. It's less bursty. We should be able to maintain more of our mana, I think. And, you know, as we travel in between packs, it'll just deal like slightly less burst damage. That, and you also get the benefits of having the extremely cool Shadow form. Which I think, if I'm also not mistaken, I think Shadow form affects our mount as well while we're mounted. I guess we can check that out. Let's get the points in. So we're going to take our points into Spirit Tap, of course. Naturally. Improve Shadow Word Pain. So this is a big deal. Our Shadow Word Pain falls off all the time as Holy. With Shadow, we get an extra 6 seconds of it, so it's extra 2 ticks, I think, which will definitely help keep it up and active. We don't care about the threat generation, really, so we'll just put 3 points into Shadow Focus. I think that's all you really need, from what I understand. Shadow Focus doesn't really do, like, a lot. It doesn't increase your chance to hit by all that much in reality. We'll take Mind Flay. Mind Flay is going to be a mainstay, of course. We will take Improved Psychic Scream, reducing our cooldown for that spell by 4 seconds. Not too crazy, but we really want this because this will allow us to pick up Silence, which is further down the tree. And that'll be our Interrupt, which I feel like I've been missing out greatly on. I prefer to play melee characters most of the time, and not having an interrupt definitely hurts sometimes. We gotta stick 2 more points somewhere else in order to get down to the next row. I think I'm gonna do Blackout, honestly. Our Shadow Word Pain ticks could cause this stun to occur, as well as stuff like Mind Blast and Mind Flay, of course. Honestly, it's more useful than anything else, I feel like. And let's see, we're definitely going to want Shadow Reach and Shadow Weaving. Shadow Reach increasing the range of our spells, but we'll stick with Shadow Weaving first. We'll pick up Silence. Vampiric Embrace is a pretty cool ability as well, allowing us to heal ourselves for 20% of the damage that we deal. This heals other people in the party as well while we're doing dungeons. We'll stick some points into Shadow Reach to get to the next tier. The improved Vampiric Embrace is really not very good, like increasing the amount by 10%. I think this is like a multiplicative number, which means it would go up to 22% instead of 30%, so it just doesn't make sense to put points into this. But we'll take Darkness for more shadow damage, of course, and then we will take Shadow Form. And that is going to be all of our current points, and this is all that we're going to want from this Shadow Tree. I don't think we need anything else here. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest of our points are going to be dumped into Discipline as normal. We'll start going for Wand Specialization, which with each level. We'll get back into improved Power Word, Fortitude, and Shield and whatnot, and yeah, we can go from there. I'll work on getting our bars set up and whatnot in a little bit. But first, let's start cooking some food. We can start that process first before we start going through that stuff. Alright, I think we have to buy some spices. I think for both of the recipes we're using, we need the soothing spice. So we got some recipes from the cooking trainer we can pick up.
Good day to you.
And yeah, we'll pick up some soothing spices for what we're about to cook. Probably gonna need quite a lot. We'll start with 40.
See you around.
And we will start making our tasty lion steaks. This is an upgrade from what we currently have. This provides 8 stamina and spirit over the 6 that we're getting from the wolf kebabs. I think we'll just vendor these. The wolf kebabs, that is. I don't think we need them anymore. If you recall, we initially created like 90 or 100 of these when we first made them, which was a little insane in hindsight, but it definitely pushed our cooking skill quite far, which I was happy with. Yeah, we'll be able to use both of these lion steaks and the soothing turtle bisque. So we're still going to be carrying around a lot of food, but it'll last us for a while, and I don't think we'll really need to cook anything else for a bit. So we gotta learn the recipe first. And we can start making these. We can make 45. So we're still gonna need some more spice. Yeah, once again, we are going to have a lot of food, but that's all right. We should have the space for it. Go ahead and vendor these in a minute. And this is also going to push us past 200, which means we should be able to pick up the spider sausage recipe from the cooking trainer here. And that recipe will last us forever. It could last us all the way to 60 if we want it to. It only requires a couple of pieces of white spider meat, which we should be able to collect somewhat soon, as I believe spiders around our level can drop the meat. And I think that food gives us 12 stamina and spirit, I think. I'm not in a super rush to make them, but whenever we decide to level up our cooking again, you know, that'll be what we do. We'll just create like a ton of it. And yeah, we can pick up artisan cooking whenever we feel like it. I think we have to go to Gadget Zan. I believe it's the same for both. It's a quest line that is the same for both Alliance and Horde. It starts in Tanaris, takes you to the hinterlands to pick up some giant eggs, There's probably other areas you can get giant eggs from, but that's the most common that I'm aware of. You turn in the quest and you pick up Artisan. And that is all of the cooking handled. Let's grab that spider sausage.
Open for business. Safe travels.
Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me in Stormwind today. I really enjoy having episodes like this every once in a while, where we can kind of just hang out in a major city, get some stuff done. And I think, I mean, these are timed quests, so maybe we'll try these in the next one, because it might require a bit more effort since the travel time is going to be quite a lot. Maybe we should pick up Morgenstern first and see what that's about. Yeah, the basilisk stuff might be tough to reach since we have to fly to the, fly to Darkshire first and ride all the way to the Stranglethorn coast. That might be a little bit too much. And I'll sort out my bars in a second. It's definitely going to be some changes. We're going to rock with Shadow for a bit.
Need something? Safe travels.
I'm developing a new menu for the restaurant. It will be filled with rural dishes with a bayou theme. I think my clientele at the Blue Recluse will love them. I sent my nephew Morgan to Theramore, a city on the edge of the Dustwallow Marsh. He's there gathering recipes from the locals, and I must know what he found so far. The trip to Theramore is long, too long for me, but I bet a young priest like yourself would jump at the chance to travel, yes?
Have a good one. See you around.
That one I'm guessing is not timed, which would be nice. It's a Dustwallow specific quest, so I guess we'll just wait on it. Alright, well, since we only have one quest, yeah, so it's either we go to the Swamp of Sorrows or we try our shot at this Basilisk quest.
What can I do for you?
I don't know, let's go for it. Chilled Basilisk Haunch, so we just need one.
See you later.
And hopefully it's like a guaranteed drop. Gold Eye Basilisks. Alright, let's do it. We're going to head over to Darkshire, and then on the flight path, I will tinker around with my bars and whatnot, and get everything set up. guess the cool thing about Shadow is I think all of our upgrades are funneled literally into the Shadow tree and nothing else. I don't think there's going to be much we have to change. It's really just finding a good place for Shadow Form, for Silence. Stick this stuff over here. Vampiric Embrace. We're not going to need Holy Fire or Smite anymore. Those will get replaced with Mind Flay and Mind Blast. That is the biggest difference with Shadow. In addition to Shadow Form, you cannot cast holy spells, which not going to be that big of a deal for us. It might actually make our bandages a lot more useful. Not that we couldn't cast holy spells, and just leave Shadow Form temporarily. But, yeah, maybe we'll actually get use out of the bandages just to save a little bit of mana. And I think that's it. Got Vampiric Embrace and Silence out on the bars. Those are our additional buttons. Silence is pretty expensive. I'm surprised. Ooh, I just realized we have rank 1 Mind Flay. Oh, that's right. We had to pick it up first before we went to the trainer. Alright, that's unfortunate. That is a pretty core part of our spec, so... Man, that looks cool. Oh, man, that looks extra cool. Oh man, the main appeal of Priest in Classic. Yeah, I think we'll still be fine even with the rank 1 Mind Flay. We just, we don't necessarily have to use it, I guess. We could use Star Shards as kind of the filler ability for now. Until we get back to our trainer. Still looks pretty cool in Stranglethorn in the light, but man, nothing beats this aesthetic going through any of the spookier zones. Just love the way it looks. Alright, so I guess these Cold Eye Basilisks are really far south. I actually thought that they would be more north, right outside where like the troll these troll settlements are. So we do have to go pretty far. I don't think there's anything in the quest that says anything about not using your Hearthstone. I know it says that, you must not release, which makes sense because if you die and, you could potentially save a lot of time that way. Must not release your spirit. I don't see anything else, saying that we can't hearth back to Menethil and take a flight. Although, is that really faster than maybe like taking our mount down to Booty Bay from this spot? I'm not so sure. Booty Bay to Stormwind or Menethil Harbor to Stormwind? It's kind of close. I don't know. Yeah, the timing on this quest is actually pretty tight. Surprisingly. In most of the timed quests I've find, I mean, at least, maybe it's just because most of the timed quests I've done are the lower level ones, but, you tend to have like a ton of extra time to spare. This one's a little bit tighter. Although, as long as, I guess, the basilisk haunch is a 100% chance to drop, then I suppose that's not too bad then. This would be especially difficult without a mount, if not potentially impossible. If hearthstones are allowed, I suppose, like setting our hearth to Stormwind probably would have been the play. Yep, there it is. We've got 20 minutes left. It's not too bad. Yeah, let's just take the main road down to Booty Bay. At the speed we're going, it shouldn't be too bad. And we'll just have to remember when we get back to Stormwind to pick up those extra ranks of Mind Flay. Hopefully we can afford it. We're approaching the entrance now. It's the first time we're coming into Booty Bay from this direction. I forgot how many particle effects there were on this shadow form. We've got like this purple haze coming off of us, as well as some like shadowy magic, like the trail that we're leaving behind. I do have a quest to turn in here, but no time for that. We'll come back. We'll come back a different time.
Talk to me.
Back to Stormwind we go on our Shadow Griffin. Back with 13 minutes to spare so far. anything else we have to take care of here in Stormwind? Since we'll have a little bit of extra time. I suppose I could spend the time thinking about what I want to do next. Swamp of Sorrows is a pretty good bet. So is Dust Wallow. I think regardless of what we decide to do, I think it's going to be in a swamp of some kind.
Hello. Safe travels.
Ah, this will do nicely. Many, many thanks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must get the haunch chopped, marinated, and garnished for the banquet.
Have a good one.
Cool. 5k experience is pretty good for a quest like that. I just realized we have we've got the world buff as well. I'll take that into the next episode for sure. I don't think I have much else to do with professions anymore. Cooking and first aid, and herbalism for that matter. You know what? No, you know what? We don't have the gold to pick up artisan herbalism right now. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait on that. But yeah, we can pick up artisan and everything except for tailoring. So once we come across some more gold and we stabilize a little bit more, I think we'll start putting a little bit more gold into tailoring now that we have both our mount and dual spec. Those are, those have been our biggest purchases, and I don't think there's going to be too much else too expensive to grab until we hit 60.
Hey there.
Alright, so we're just looking for a mind flay. Yeah, I've always been told that mind flay is extremely weak at the earlier levels, but it eventually gets much more worth it higher up. Yeah, so we're not getting another rank of that until 44. At 42, we'll be getting a new rank of Shadowward Pain, though.
See you around.
Which is obviously going to be very worth it for us to get. We've got Mind Flay rank 3. I guess I can take a second to kind of look at these abilities a little bit more. Mind Blast deals a ton of damage. Shadowward Pain I think is a little bit better now that it has that longer duration. I feel a bit better about casting the spell. It's very mana efficient as long as the entire duration can go through, which most of the time it will, I think. And Mind Flay is also, yeah, I feel like all three of these are very cost effective for what they are, and I guess that's kind of what Shadow's all about. We'll see what Vampiric Embrace does too. I don't remember using it that often back in the day. Let's go at our quest log real quick. We still have that gray quest to turn in back in Narcissus. I don't know if I'm going to go through with Stromguard or not still. We do have the potential horde group that is traveling along the road in Arathi that we can still grab at some point. Yeah, hints of a new plague. Got a couple things to do in Menethil. Slash Theramore. Alright, yeah, I'll think about it more. I think that's going to do it for me for today, though, guys. Appreciate you guys sticking around, as always, on our adventures through Stormwind today. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video, following the playlist, and subscribing to the channel for more. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.